What is going on, everybody? Zyonik here. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the top 5 Pokemon you guys can invest in for Go Battle League in the Ultra League. Now, these Pokemon are not legendary. Legendary Pokemon are going to be amazing in Ultra League, but today we're going to talk about the non-legendary Pokemon. More cheaper options that not only can handle a great part of the meta, but can handle a lot of the legendaries we are going to see in Go Battle League. So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you guys can stay up to date on all the latest Pokemon Go PvP content. Without further ado, let's get right into the top 5 non-legendary Pokemon for Ultra League. Alright, coming in at number 5 is actually not one Pokemon, it's a whole group, and it's basically all the Community Day starters. Because as we see here, the top ranks are really dominated by legendaries and stuff like we know. But the starters are squeaking into here. Pokemon like Swampert, Blastoise, Typhlosion, Meganium, Venusaur. As we get farther down, we see stuff like Charizard and Blaziken. Sceptile is here as well. Now, why I would suggest investing in these starters or getting them ready by labeling, and then when the time comes, then dropping the dust. Based on what you have is the fact that, right, we have a 10k unlock for a second charge move, and then Community Day charge moves do a ton of damage. Hydro Cannon, Blast Burn, Frenzy Plant, we know it does a ton of work, and they're going to do very well in the meta outside of like getting matched up with those dragons like Giratina Altered. We'll pretty much wall all those Community Day moves, but a lot of these Pokemon are going to do really well. Blastoise in particular, I want to talk about here. Having Ice Beam capability of taking down some of the dragons, or at least chunking health from the big time dragons, and then on top of that being able to handle a few of the Regis as well, I think is going to be really big. But the thing is, you're going to need 100% IV because he does cap out underneath 2500. So kind of think of him like like Sableye in a sense like that, where 100% IV is what you're gonna want. And then Swampert as well is an absolute monster. Mudshot, Hydro Cannon, Earthquake, gonna destroy so much of the meta. Gonna be super weak to grass, as we know, but he is probably going to be the best investment for Dust right out the gate. I think Typhlosion is really interesting as well. In Great League, he's good, but not as good. But I think he really gets to, stretch his legs out in the Ultra League because he can get to Solar Beam more consistently with the bulk that he'll have. Plus, having Shadow Claw is going to be really nice, especially for the Giratinas. And then Blast Burn, we all know that does a ton of damage. Shadow Claw, again, going to be handling all those Psychics really well. Pokemon like Registeel are going to get absolutely chunked by Blast Burn. So he's a really nice pickup. And then Solar Beam, again, if you guys land the beam, it's amazing. Meganium and Venusaur in here as well. Our Frenzy Plant users, they are absolutely amazing. Handling all those water type Pokemon. Earthquake as well, very niche for Pokemon like Alolan Muk. Gonna give us great coverages. And then Venusaur as well with the Sludge Bomb for Pokemon like Togekiss, the Fairy user. So yeah, these guys are going to be really good. For Alligator is up here as well. Maybe not as good, I would say, but still he has his coverages, but I think there can be better water Pokemon that we could utilize in Swampert. And then also Pokemon we haven't talked about, Empoleon, isn't ranked as high right now, and that's because he doesn't have his Community Day move. He's very low, but I imagine once he gets his Hydro Cannon, he's gonna shoot right up because of his Steel typing. So I have a feeling he's gonna become very good when he does get his Community Day move. Now Blaziken as well, counter Blast Burn, and then you have a lot of different options here, but ideally you could go with, if you have Stone Edge, first of all, that is going to be amazing, but Blaze Kick most likely is what you're going to want to run with. He's going to be great at countering those Regis and Alolan Muk as well, and then Blast Burn, you guys know, just hurts everything. Now Sceptile makes the cut as well, not ranked as high because of his bulk, or lack of bulk I should say, but still a great moveset. Fury Cutter, Leaf Blade, Earthquake, you can run him with Frenzy Plant, and you can also run him with Dragon Claw. It's going to do super effective damage against the dragons, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be huge stab damage because he is not a dragon type Pokemon. But Earthquake's really going to help him out, and then Leaf Blade's going to do a ton of work. Now coming in at number 4 is going to be Machamp. Machamp is an absolute monster for Ultra League with counter, Cross Chop and Rock Slide would be my recommended moveset. Close Combat is fantastic in terms of energy to damage, but you are going to get that debuff. In these fights, I think Cross Chop will be able to put out a lot more consistent damage and allow you to stay in there more. You are going to be handling the Regis, you're going to be handling a lot of the ice Pokemon that we're going to see, and Pokemon like Snorlax, which we're going to see a lot. Again, going to be super weak to Psychic and that Charm damage as well. So you're going to have to watch out for that, but he's going to be like a fantastic generalist, on top of having Rock Slide to kind of protect him against some of those flying type Pokemon. He's going to do really, really well. Now coming in at number 3 is going to be Snorlax. Snorlax is going to wall the Giratinas. It's actually hilarious, but Lick, Body Slam, and Earthquake is the moveset you're definitely going to want to go for. Superpower is nice, but Snorlax is about staying in the fight long term, bulking down with Body Slam and Earthquake, so Superpower kind of goes against that by giving him those debuffs. But I just want you to look at what he counters. Both Giratinas, Mew, Cresselia, Alolan Muk. Now he is obviously going to be weak to fighting type moves, which is why Machamp is such a monster, but he absolutely walls these guys. So taking a look at Giratina Origin versus Snorlax, he wins in every shielding situation. You might be able to just stand there for a little bit and let Snorlax kind of take a nap, because he can wall all of these Shadow Balls and Ominous Winds. It's going to do no damage. He has so much health that there's no way Giratina can get through it. So in terms of counters to the Giratina, this is definitely the defensive option, because you don't have to shield at all. You can store a ton of energy and just absolutely wall. I mean, if Giratina decides to shield, you know, you get a shield out of him and you still wall him with 50% of your health left, and you could even store up to another a little bit past Earthquakes. You have some residual energy for the next Pokemon coming in and take a little bit less health. But yeah, Snorlax can wall Giratinas. So for all my battlers out there who have been participating in the Silpharina this last year, you guys will understand this reference, but basically Snorlax is to Giratinas as Bastiodon is to Skarmory and Altaria. Skarmory and Altaria run the Great League. They do very, very well, and Bastiodon absolutely walls them. That's what Snorlax is going to do to the Giratinas. Coming in at number 2 is going to be an offensive approach to the Giratinas and to the Dragons, which I think we'll see a lot of, because you got to think the wider community is going to be coming into Pokemon Go PvP, and a lot of eyes and will go to everyone's Dragonites, things like that, Garchomps, Rayquazas, stuff of that nature, which is where Togekiss comes in. Charm damage is going to absolutely destroy them, we know that. Ancient Power and Flamethrower would be my suggested moveset. Ancient Power for some nice coverage and the boost. Flamethrower for some great coverage to Pokemon like Registeel, Regice, things of that nature. Now you are going to be able to destroy the Giratinas. You're going to destroy Pokemon like Machamp, you're going to destroy Pokemon like Dragonite, but you have to watch out for all those steel types. So Registeel, Melmetal, Muk as well, normal Muk because of the poison typing. But remember, you have Flamethrower for these guys, so just because you know you can get destroyed by them doesn't mean you can't hit back pretty hard and set up your next Pokemon really well to come in and farm. So this is definitely the more offensive option when it comes to covering Giratinas, as Snorlax is the defensive one. And I think it's important to note that why these guys are so high personally on my list is because the meta is going to revolve around Giratinas. Fresh out the gate in Ultra League, unless they're banned, everyone is going to be having Giratinas and some of these other legendaries. So having counters for them is why they're ranking so high for me right now. So defensive counter being Snorlax, a great offensive one with great coverage to its weaknesses being Togekiss, and then we're going to move into the number 1 counter. And coming in at number 1, a Pokemon you guys may be aware of, or maybe you weren't aware of, maybe you haven't looked into Ultra League yet. Alolan Muk is going to be an absolute monster with Snarl, Dark Pulse, Gunk Shot. Snarl, again, very high EPT. It's going to give us great coverages, guys. Giratinas and the Psychics, so Cresselia, Mew, Mewtwo Armored, and both Giratinas. It can handle all of those, and that's what people I think are going to be going to. When it comes to the Ultra League, they're definitely going to be gravitating towards Armored Mewtwo, towards Giratinas, towards Cresselia. As we see from the ranks here, it can handle all those guys. Now, obviously, you have to watch out for those fighting type Pokemon and the ground type Pokemon. So things like Swampert, Flygon, need to watch out for that. But man, oh man, he can handle this legendary core with ease. So definitely look to get yourself an Alolan Muk, and definitely I would say trade to try to get really good IVs for Alolan Muk for the Ultra League. Let me know what you guys think about this top 5 that I've laid out. Obviously, it's completely subject to opinion and change and new meta moves and updates and all that, but I think the importance of this top 5 is the fact that we're going to see the meta revolve around those legendaries like the Giratinas, like the Mews and Mewtwo's, and Dragons as well. So I think having non-legendary Pokemon that can handle those guys very, very well in different angles, whether it's offensive, defensive, kind of neutral, is going to be important. And then the Community Day Pokemon as well. Community Day moves do a ton of damage. We all know that, which is why I think it was important to have them at number 5 as a group. Now, obviously, future Community Day Pokemon, like potentially Polion when we see him come, and any other basically Community Day moves can fill into this role. So yeah, definitely a great starting point there. Cheap investment, but yeah, we're gonna need counters for the legendaries, guys, and Alolan Muk, Togekiss, Snorlax I think are gonna be our best bets. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Ultra League. I definitely think we are gonna be seeing a heavy amount of people using Giratinas, using those armored Mewtwo. So having some of these niche non-legendary coverages in terms of Snorlax, Alolan Muk, Togekiss are going to be fantastic pickups when it comes to the Go Battle League. So if you guys found this video helpful, be sure to smash that like button. And if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you are already subscribed, be sure to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time a new video drops. So like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.